Do you ever feel boring in conversations? People are polite and they smile and nod when you talk, but you know deep down they're not that interested in you. I used to feel this too until I realized something, that being interesting isn't really about your job or your hobbies or your life, it's how you talk about them. So in this video, I'm going to show you the mistake you're probably making that is boring people to death, and a simple trick you can use to seem more interesting and actually connect with people even if you're boring. So the mistake you're probably making is when people ask you about your life, you only tell them about the surface level facts. No details, no story, no emotion. You just say, I watch Netflix, or I live in the city, or I work in fast food, and that's where the conversation ends. And it's a big problem because people need to hear more in order to relate with you and connect with you. Without it, they literally cannot be interested in you, even if they tried. And it used to happen to me too. In the past, I used to think that I was boring because admittedly, all I did was play Minecraft all day. But then I got into more interesting things, building businesses, making content, traveling, and even then, I wasn't able to get people interested in me. That's when I realized that the secret wasn't in what I did, it was in how I talked about it. Here's an example of what I mean, and don't laugh because I'm going to tell you something that's actually really boring about me. One of my favorite things to do is go on walks. And I totally get it, I sound like an old man. But the thing is, if someone asked me what I like to do for fun, and all I said was, I like to go on walks, they think I was the most boring person on the planet. But if I add detail and I add emotion, it can sound completely different. I could say something like, I love to go on walks around my neighborhood because I sit at my desk all day for work, and it's the one moment I just get to walk around, move my body, and turn my brain off. And I love it because I get to notice little things, like a pretty flower on the side of the road, or my neighbor's cute dog. And it reminds me to slow down, and that life isn't all about work. Now, if you compare that answer to, I like to go on walks, it sounds like you're talking to a completely different person, a more interesting person. And talking like this is actually really easy to do. So I want to show you 3 words that I always keep in mind when I want to sound more interesting. And it's facts plus feelings. And to explain it, I'm going to break down my previous example of going on a walk. So the facts are the details about your life, the thing that you actually do. And sharing this is important in itself because it might give you the opportunity to connect. So in the statement, I like to go on walks around my neighborhood, if the other person likes to go on walks or they like to do hikes or something similar, they can connect with that. So it's important to do, but it's limited. As you can see, there's only really 2 things we could connect on. That's why the second part, the feelings, are so important. Because as people, we can all relate to a ton of feelings on a more core emotional level. And even though we may not have actual things in common with the person, we might have feelings and thoughts that are in common. And you were probably feeling that when I was saying my example. Even if you don't like going on walks, you could probably relate to feeling stressed, to feeling like life is passing by too fast, and most importantly, to knowing that life isn't just about work. These plus a ton of other emotions are baked into this story, and that's why it's so much better at helping you connect with people. And by the way, it works on almost any topic. So let me give you 2 more quick examples. So a vague statement like, I like to play video games, can be transformed into something like, I like to play Minecraft because it lets me explore my creative side. Plus, I love the nostalgia of hopping online and playing with my friends from high school. Or an ordinarily boring job like I work at McDonald's can be revamped into something like, I'm a fry cook at McDonald's on Queen Street. The job is kind of routine, but I love my team. We get to joke around a ton and they just make the time fly by. Plus, I get free chicken nuggets, so I can't complain. And I think you're starting to see how using this framework can make anything you say sound instantly more interesting. And I hope so, because now it's your turn. Sit down and think about your life. Where do you work? How do you have fun? Who do you spend time with? Where do you live? And really try to think about the facts and the feelings about them. It doesn't have to be a perfect answer, it just has to be open and honest. And seriously, pause the video, pick one, and write the answer down in the comments. It's the best way at getting better at answering this. Plus, I would love to learn a bit more about you. And the next time somebody asks you about your life, share the facts and the feelings about your story. And if you do that, I promise you, people are going to be way more interested in you than they ever will before. But if you really want to deeply connect with somebody, you'll also need to learn how to listen to make them feel seen. And if you want to learn that, you can check out this video right here. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope these tips help. And above all else, I hope that you keep connecting. Take care and good luck.